Had such a good meeting last night that maybe the Lord will give me a few things to say to not take away from anything you've heard or anything you felt last night, but maybe build upon it. Get us throughout this week. Had a lot on my mind this morning, and it's hard to come after Brother Chris, Larry, hearing Brother Chris talk about that little home he says should have been condemned. Larry talking about his garage. Brandon talks about his basement. I'm not really for sure about Jeremy, but it's all different places, but it all leads to the same.
That's right.
Amen.
Right.
Me and a coal mine.
God's
a
everywhere.
cold one around me. You know, the funny thing is, I remember when I first started working in that mines, they'd say, when you got about 10 feet in there, your cell phone wouldn't work anymore. So I put it to the test one day. We didn't get barely in there at all. And I looked at my phone and there was nothing there. And I thought that was kind of crazy. But you know, from that mines, I called out to a man.
That's right.
Yeah. You know that the greatest technologies in this world couldn't have gotten to me at the time, but there was a man that was there.
Yeah. Good buddy. That's right.
When I fell down and couldn't take it anymore. You see, I was thinking about, I tried to get Tiffany to sing it earlier, that song, Precious Memories. I think about it every time I'm in church. And I really thought about it when you walked in because of where you guys are from. My grandfather and grandmother belonged to the Salem Association at one time, the Union Association, they're old regular Baptists. The women that I knew when I grew up, their hair, if it wasn't right here, it was all the way down there. And if it wasn't down there, it was in a bun up here. And all the men, they never wore any shorts. Listen, some of them wouldn't even wear short sleeves. That's how hard they were. Listen, and you know what? I would wake up in the morning and I would already smell dinner being prepared and being cooked all day long. And you know, my grandfather would wake up in the morning about 4 o'clock and he would go off to the mines. But before he woke up, my grandmother was already awake and his lunch was packed and she was already preparing food for the day because she was expecting people to just stop by and she was ready to feed them. And that aroma, I can still remember it, brother. Flowing through the house, and you know, she would be there in the kitchen cooking, or she'd be standing at the sink, and there was a big window there, and right behind that house, there was a creek that ran through there, and I was always out there catching what we like to call crawdads, and I was always up on that mountain playing with my papa's chickens and dogs, and she would just watch me there. Oh, those were good times, brother. I didn't have a care in this world. I didn't have any problems. But just like Brother Chris said, had that good meeting last night and wake up to nothing but more sorrow and pain. Because that's all this world has for us. Listen, you know, I don't know what this week's got in store for me, but I'll tell you what I've got in store for this world. I'm going to meet people this week, and we're going to talk about Jesus. I'm wanting to build upon it here today because last night what we heard was Jesus Christ, and that's the only way to get to where I'm going here today. You see, there's people in this world that I'm awful worried about. Listen, I've got a little brother in this world who's lost. I've never seen anybody as lost as him. I thought I was bad. He don't understand a thing. He would think that he had never met our grandparents and heard anything that they had ever said. And you know, I remember the night when my grandfather died, my little brother was there. He was already lost to this world, and he said, Shad, I held him as he was dying there. And I thought to myself, that's it. He's seen this. God has no chance with him now. He's going to run this way. He's going to run right away. And I don't know what to say say to him now, but he kept talking and I kept thinking. But he said, you know, before he died, he looked at me and he smiled. He said, and when he smiled, he just closed his eyes. He said it looked like he went to sleep. And I said, finally, thank you, God, I've got something to work with. I said, Drake, you know where we come from. I said, you know, every day when she would take a break from cooking, we would lay down. We'd lay down in her bed and we'd take a nap. She had to get her little rest to make it throughout the day. And you know, she would sing while we would lay there. And she would pray. And she always fell asleep with her hands like this on her chest. That's the way she did it. I said, Drake, you know, the day that she died, I went to the house where she was. And you know, the people from the funeral home said, would you like to see her before we take her away? And you know, I didn't want to, but I thought I might as well as go. And I walked back into that room, and there her little body laid with that big long hair, brother, and those hands just like this right here. I said, Drake, I read about a time when there was a man that was preaching the word of the God that I serve, and the people brought false witness against him, and you know, it was customary there for them to stone him, and they took him outside the city and they stoned him, and I said, but he looked up before he died, and he seen my Lord, and you know, when my grandmother laid there, she had her hands like this and just a smile on her face. I said, you know, Drake, I said she had a smile on her face, and when Stephen left this world, he was able to look up and see the Lord. I said, thinking about that right now just makes me smile. Listen, my Lord is real.
It is real.
And you know what? He's in the business.
Yes, he is.
Listen, come on. There's nothing that I can do up here, and there's nothing that I can say to save your soul. But my Lord, He's there today. I've heard many a times that He's only going to knock on your heart's door once, and you better answer that call. If that was the case, then I'd be hellbound today. Listen, I would already be on my way to hell. There's many a times I've denied this man. There's many a times when He's gave me things that I don't deserve. But you know what? Glory be to God today. He's a merciful God, and He has served my many needs. Listen, I remember the day that I got baptized. Just a few weeks later, I found out we were going to have a baby, and they had dated the conception on the day that I was baptized, and I thought to myself, that's awful crazy. Listen, I'm getting a little witness here, and you know, I remember when Chris Yates and his little wife had got baptized there in Kentucky. You got to keep your eyes open for a little bit. The Lord is blessing you here today. You just got to be looking. And you know, I remember going down when they were baptizing those two, and it was storming, and I said to myself, I do not want to get out in this storm. I don't want to get out in this rain just to watch this baptism. Maybe I'll sit in the car. And you know, we walked out there, and Brother Joey, he started singing, and just for a moment of time, it went to a light rain, then it went to a drizzle, and then it went to no rain at all. And you know, there for a moment, Brother Darrell, he was walking them out into the water, and those clouds split just a little bit. And I'm telling you, I'm not lying. A lot of sunlight came right down on that water where they were at. And when they dunked them in that water, and Brother Joey started singing again, the wind started to blow, and I was already watching. I was amazed, brother, and I'm not lying to you today. And I looked down the water, and there was all kinds of little pretty leaves just floating right down where they had just put them at. My Lord, listen, was there. And when they got them out of that water, and they brought them back on shore, that beam of light was gone, and then there came the rain again, and it was time to run to the cars, brother. Listen, my Lord, He's here today. He's amongst us here. And it's up to you. There's nothing holding you back other than yourself. There's nothing in between you and the Lord other than yourself. And you can sit here, you can try to fool me, you can hold back your emotions, you can You can do whatever you want, but there's a man, I'm telling you, that knows everything about you. Knows your next move. Hold your next breath. I'll tell this and I'll get out of the way because it is getting late. Brother Brandon, I know, needs about 30 minutes. No, God. It was precious. God, that song, it's been killing me this morning. Last night was so good. I'm still feeling so blessed, right? I woke up this morning the same way that I did when I came in here yesterday. I came here just to see you cry and to see her cry. But then, you know, when I got here yesterday, yeah, you fulfilled what I wanted you to do. And I fulfilled what I wanted. I wanted to cry with you. Yeah. I'm not a crier. I'm not a hugger. I'm not a person that shakes things. I've never been that kind of person. It's me. It's engraved in me. I've came around a little bit. But, you know, as we started to preach, and then Sister Rachel shouts, Sister Brandy shouts, and I think to myself, well, now I want to see Bob cry, but now I want to hear her shout again. And then I look back while we're preaching and I see people crying, and I think, I want to see them cry. I don't want their feelings to be hurt. And you know what? If your tears aren't tears of joy here today, but they're tears of just surrender, that's what I want to call it. You're ready to surrender your life to my God. There's nothing more precious to me than seeing that. I came in this morning going through my tackle box trying to find something because here today my Lord has made me a fisher of men. And you know, every time I would open a drawer in that tackle box, all I could find was Jesus Christ. That's the only thing that I need here today. But the only thing you need to do is just adhere to what these brothers have said. Listen and look beyond us for a moment of time and look a little higher than where I stand, because that's where all your answers have come from. And you know, I remember, just like I was talking about those memories, and some of you have heard this before, but I remember growing up, and my grandfather, he was my hero. He was my dad, my hero. He was there when nobody else was. Yeah. I remember a time, bro, the only time being a little boy that I was brokenhearted, I had a lot of problems with not seeing my real dad and stuff, but that doesn't mean anything when it comes to my grandfather. I remember my mom at one time, he had bought her a home to put on his property, and she had got mad at him one time, and I stayed with them, but she decided she's going to take me with her. She's going to leave for a while because she was just mad at him. She's a silly person, and you know, we left, and she decided she had to go back and get some clothes and some things from our house, and you know, I said, well, I'm going to get out and talk to Dad while I'm here. She said, no, you're not. He don't love you anymore. And you want to talk about breaking a boy's heart. Listen, she went in that house, and I seen him outside, and I walked up to him and I said, what did I do? What did I do to make you not love me anymore? And he said, son, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm always going to love you. I remember going over to his mother's house, brother, and we went over there, and she, this family of mine, you know, we lived for quite a while, and we shouldn't, we've been blessed, and we shouldn't have been. We've always had good health, most of them. And then in my grandfather's family, it gets down, they get 90, some almost 100 years old, and dementia is what gets them in this world. And you know, my grandfather, we went to visit his mother when she was in her late stages. I went in there, and you could tell she was old regular Baptist, because the first thing she said, would you gentlemen like a sandwich? And she would ask me that every 30 seconds. Do you just want a sandwich? Are you hungry? And he would say, no, Mommy, I'm all right. And he would tell her over and over who he was. And it wasn't a minute later, she would say, well, what's your name again, son? And I would think to myself, you know, one day he may forget me that same way, and I don't want that to happen. And you know, before he left this world, listen, they said he was starting to get dementia, and it was setting in. I remember in the last few weeks I talked to him. He had forgotten my son's name. He asked me how Cain was doing, And I said, no, his name's Abel. He said, oh, I thought it was just an old name. I couldn't remember which one. Listen, I was afraid that one day he'd pick up the phone and say, is this Meshach or something like that? That maybe he would forget me. But listen, when we would talk to his mother there, she would forget everything we'd ever tell her. But when he started mentioning church, she didn't miss a beat. She knew who Jesus Christ was. She knew what the songs were. She never forgot that. This world had taken everything from her. But the only thing it couldn't take from her was my God. Because this world does not have dominion over my Lord. My Lord has dominion over this world. You can lose everything in this world. You can lose your own mind. But one thing you won't lose is my Lord Jesus Christ. Listen, and you know, before he left this world, he was getting worse and worse. And I remember praying, Lord, don't let him forget me. And you know, he left this world before that disease could do the things that it does to people. I was awful sad when he left, but that gives my prayer something to be happy about and be thankful for. Lord, he didn't forget me. And he's waiting for me. When my grandmother left this world, that man, I'm telling you, he left with her. Even though he didn't physically die until about 10 years later. He missed her and I missed them. But just like both of them, I'm telling you, I have full confidence that they've gone on.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
They let that light shine, even though his last few years were rough and he just stayed in the home and a hermit, basically. But there was a reunion on that day he left this world, and I could just...
Yeah. You know it.
Thank you, Lord.
A reunion with Jesus. That's right. Dear Lord.
Lord.
Ain't he good to us?
He is good.
Ain't he good to us? Got a home to go to. That's
There was a
right.
reunion on the day he left this world. And that's all my wife asked me this morning, she was asking me some kind of survey, and she said, what was your best childhood memory? They were my best childhood memory. That's all I had.
Yeah.
That's right.
What I would give to be able to sit down with those two again. The
Yeah.
only people in this world when I was growing up
days you will.
that cared,
That's right.
the only people that cared for me.
Yeah.
But one day,
Met somebody cared more, didn't you?
one day, I'm telling you, I've got a man on my bond right now that's going to take me to where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're holding on to here this morning. I'm telling you, I'm not a crier. But my Lord, I'm telling you, He has humbled my soul when nothing else in this world could.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Come on.
I'm going to get out of the way, Brother
Lord,
Brandon. Come on.
Satisfy your heart.
Make sure y'all just want to watch me stand and cry for a little while. I love each and every one of you, and I'm telling you today.
That's how real it is.
You don't know me,
That's
son,
how
you don't,
real-
but I'm telling you, I'm not. I was never this man that's up here today. And when I leave here, I'm not that. There's nothing in this world that really does this to me, but I'm telling you, my Lord,
Yeah.
He's been so good to me. These aren't just tears of sadness, they're tears of joy, because I've got a chance.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a way when I couldn't make it for myself.
Call him home, Sam.
No, I'm going to let Brandon come, but the church doors, they've been open since we've been here. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, just do what I did and just surrender.
Yeah.
I don't care where you're at today. You could be in that garage, that bedroom, that basement, or in the coal mines. You could be sitting in the church. It doesn't matter. But I'm telling you, there's a better way than the life you're living.
That's right.
Come on, Brandon. Come on. I ain't going to